Hi, this is Mandy from Sunflowers and Doors. Welcome back to my channel. I'm not sure you're straight there, so let me try and straighten you up a little bit. I'm sorry about the glare. You'll have to excuse the glare. I'm just hanging out at the moment. I've started doing a junk journal ideas book, which was originally inspired by Corey Damon from Creating with Scraps, and I've done a couple, and this is my third one. And what I want to do with this is I have started putting bits and pieces in there, but what I wanted to do with it is I wanted to make some really basic pieces of ephemera, so like journal cards and tags and stuff from the leftovers I had of the signatures. So I'm just sat down to do that, and I kind of thought, well, why not come with me? So that's what I'm going to do. So the first thing is I'm going to grab my tin of goodies that I did an unboxing of earlier this week. Susan, I want to, do you know, I always forget your shop name, Susan, so I do apologise. But I will link it below, and these are some of the fabulous bits and pieces that I had from her. So I'm going to use some of these in my makes, because what I want to do with these is I just want to make some really, really simple, and I mean simple, pieces that would just kind of go with anything. So I've got some pieces here, and I have got, just trying to get the littler ones out. So I've got some pieces here that I'm going to use, or try to use. And I've also got, these are the leftovers from the signatures. So I haven't actually done anything with them as such yet. With these ones here, all I did was I folded into 3 separate parts and then had this extra piece here as a 4th piece. And what I'm going to do with this is that is going to be something that you can either attach over a journal, pocket or text spot, or you can have it that you actually attach it to your journal and it flips out. So there's loads of different ideas, but that is what I am going to have a look at. So some of these will be stitched, some of them won't. These were just strips of card that I had, and all I've done is I've folded them in half. Well, I actually used a scoreboard so that I got a really crisp fold, because this is quite a heavy piece of cardstock. It's a 300 GSM, but it's a hammered effect, so it doesn't fold that easily on its own. But yeah, as I said, I'm just going to have a little play, and thought you might want to hang out. So yeah. These, I'm going to try to incorporate a bit of the ideas book is Tim Holtz themed, just because I've got so much of his paper that it's got to be used. So I figure doing a theme book will probably really work well. So what I am going to do is I'm going to use a few more of their bits and pieces to kind of try and bring it all together. So I've got some tickets and tags. Do I want to use any of those? Probably too big. I've got some more of the Tim Holtz flowers here. I've got some butterflies. That is my Tapology mix. I could use some of those, but I'm not going to. And I think the labels, words. Where's my other bits there? Snippets. So that's what I'm going to have a go at. And as I said, it's just going to be using up some spare bits and pieces that I've got hanging around. I've also got a box here of Tim Holtz scraps. So I'm just going to pop those on there as well, because there's an opportunity to use some of those up too. Okay, probably should have got a lot more organised beforehand, but let's have a go. So, and again, I'm just gonna pull some pieces apart like that. Make sure I've got my inker. Okay, and I'm literally just going to start gluing things down. When I start working on the bigger pieces, I'll probably start doing some stitching. But this is just hanging out with some scraps. Okay, so I'm just going to get the base pieces on to start, and then we can decorate from there. So they're almost little clusters, I suppose. Depends what you want to do with them, you know. So I hope you guys are well. I am still sounding a little bit hoarse. I'm still trying to get rid of this, whatever it was, strep throat I had over Christmas and the New Year. And it's been very, very stubborn. Really doesn't want to disappear, but it is slowly going. But yeah, I hope you guys are well. It'd be really good to know what you're up to. Just drop me a message in the comments section below. It's always good to hang out, but it's always good to know kind of who's there and, you know, what you guys are up to. I love when you get a message or a comment that's not just about, you know, necessarily just what you've done, but also about, you know, what's happening with people's lives and stuff. So don't be shy. It is always good to hear from you guys. Gosh, I'm all over the place today. Fingers and thumbs. I've got a whole weekend planned now with, I say a whole weekend, I've got a Saturday planned now. I normally go to town on a Saturday. Town is like our city centre, just with my mum and sister, we do a bit of a girly thing and go to town and sometimes grab some breakfast and a little bit of shopping. Nothing exciting, but just nice to spend that time together, you know. But this week we're not doing that. We went on Thursday because I was still on holiday. So tomorrow is going to be a crafting day. And I can't remember the last time I had just a whole day to put aside for crafting. So I am a little bit excited. And you watch, it'll be one of those moments where you get a blind spot and you really just don't know what you want to work on. So watch this space. Okay, so just got some basic backgrounds on those couple to start with. And then I am going to see if I can get away with, these are quite big, so I'm going to see if I can get away with any of the smaller ones. And they're really pretty, really dainty, but that's going to be too big. They're definitely going to be too big. I'm not sure, gosh, they're going to be too big as well. I think I've overestimated those. They're very sizable. They're beautiful. I think I'll use those on some of the wastims I've got coming up. Okay, that's great. Some of the journal cards and tags and stuff I've got coming up. Okay, we'll let that one dry first. I'd ordered a custom order from Susan on Etsy, and I ordered just the roses. I don't know why, just because that's what I saw on the screen that I really liked. So I ordered the roses, and she sent me lots of other bits and pieces just as examples. And I'm about to put another order in because they are so pretty. And they, really are stunning. And as I said, I'll put her details below and pop over and have a little look. She's in the UK. At the moment, I don't know whether she ships outside of the UK, but she definitely ships in the UK. So that is really cool. It's going to be too big. I think sometimes just hanging out with scraps is some of the nicest things you can do, isn't it? Not overthink, not, worry about too much, just enjoy. I'm wondering whether I might be able to get away with one of these. Although it is still quite big. I'm going to go on that one because the background is quite busy, so I think I can get away with it. Okay, and that one I might get away with just as a standalone piece. They're bigger than I thought they were going to be, which isn't a bad thing because, like I said, they are very substantial. Okay. So all we've got here is some flip over journal spaces. So these are the type that I would put these on top of tuck spots or pockets and just have them hang over. You don't need anything to close them. Literally they just hang over like that on top of a pocket or a journal space like that. And they literally will just flip open and give you the whole of the inside and the back as journaling spots. So these I love. I think they're super super quick and easy, and they just give you a tiny bit more space than perhaps you would have had beforehand. So there's those there. I really like those. I'm going to definitely have to order some more of those. I think they look really pretty. So they are our flip over journal spaces. Let's have a look at what we've got else here. So we've got these ones I've already talked about, but I'm not going to do anything with those yet. Now these are some scrap cards or small journal cards. I was playing around with some dies that I'd had from Global Land, and this was one of the dies that I'd had in there, and I really liked it. So I did a little bit of playing on that, and I'm just going to use these as a journal card, a really basic journal card, and I think that colour there will go really, really well behind or in front of the stenciling. Oops a daisy. I'm so clumsy with glue, it's unbelievable. Gets everywhere. I need a piece of paper. Just to go over that one there. And again, cut this off. I'm going to cut it off a bit further in. So there's one there. I'm going to go thicker around the edge with, this is walnut stain, Distress ink, just because I think it really brings out that orange in the flower. So that is really cool. Susan does loads of things besides these. It's not just flowers she does. She's got some beautiful bookmarks and bits and pieces, and yeah, really, really some gorgeous stuff. So yeah, definitely pop over and have a little look. I'm going to put a little label on just to add a little something extra. Okay, and then we've got these ones here. Now I think I've still got my stencil here, so I think I'm going to do the same thing. I really liked it, so I'm going to use, I think that's black, is it? Don't know what I did with my thing now, that's okay. And what I did was use this piece here to go down the centre. Just to give us a bit of something different. And again, not being too fussy. We'll keep some lighter than others. I think this might have been a black ink, because it's actually going darker rather than browner. Okay. So got these ones here, and again I'm going to go with some flowers here. Again, really bright and beautiful. I think I'm going to put that one slightly to the side. I did seriously have to get myself in gear to sort these out because I just had them hanging around. And of course, every time I went to do something, those are lovely, look at those. Every time I went to do something, I'd use those as scraps, whereas I'd already had a purpose for them. So, yes, I had to get myself sorted. Right, these I'm just going to use them as scrap cards. Literally nothing exciting, I'm just going to use them as scrap cards. I did stencil both of these because, again, I wanted to see what the stencil was like, you know. So I'm going to need some big pieces for these, but I'd like the ones with the writing in if I can get them. If not, I'll get some plain ones and put some bits and pieces inside of them and just layer them up. Okay, let's see how we get on with those. I find sometimes like I'm not overthinking this because it's just going in my ideas book. But sometimes I find some of your favourite pieces come when you're not overthinking them, you know, you're not concentrating too much on what it shouldn't look like. Okay, so I'm gonna see what this looks like. I was watching on Instagram the other day, somebody was doing a collage page, and they must have used about 40, perhaps a slight exaggeration, but loads and loads of these things, and it looked absolutely fantastic. I always think, gosh, I never think to use more than one or two, and it really, really looked fantastic. So I've had these in my stash for ages and I just don't seem to use them up. So again, a goal is to try and get more and more of these used this year. So again, these are just simple cards, journal spots that you can write on and pop in your stash. I need something fairly big for this one. I'm not sure of that. See if there's anything else. Now I do have these dies. I never use them though because I'm never overly fussed on them, to be honest. They just seem to I don't know, I just don't seem to find a use for them. I definitely prefer them when they're more grungy, like that. So we'll go with that. So yeah, at the moment in our Facebook group, which is Jug Journal Ideas and Inspirations, Justine is, and that's Justine Jenkins from House of Mahalo, Justine is running this month's challenge, and it's called Finish It in 4. So you have to, basically you have 4 weeks to either finish one thing or 4 different things that you've started, but that you haven't yet finished. So I have taken up on, I've taken the challenge up. This was one of the things that I hadn't done, was the ephemera that I needed for the pieces. Another one was to finish off a lap book I'd been working on, so I finished that one off as well. And I've got 2 more finish it off things to do, and I'm not 100% sure yet what I'm going to do with those. So yeah, they will definitely get me further forward though than I am at the moment. I think the next thing, I've got a couple of these, and the idea with these was that I just made a couple of scrap pads. That was what I was hoping to achieve, just some little scrap pads that you could just pop into different pockets and text, that sort of stuff, you know. So I'm gonna do a couple of these. I've got some scrap papers in my drawer. Not that many actually, because I did use a lot recently. I did a load of scrapbooks recently, and I used a load of these in there. So I don't have tons and tons and tons, but I have probably enough that I can make some scrapbooks. So these are going to be really narrow. So that is, oopsie-daisy. And again, I'm not going to be overly precious. These are just bits of paper that I've been using that I haven't used a full piece. So just tear some of these up, ready to use. Not sure if these will tear because this is quite a thick craft card. It does. And again, I'm not doing the whole measuring thing. If it fits, it fits. If it doesn't, I take a bit more off. Okay, so let's have a look and see what we've got. And what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to, I don't know if my stapler's got any staples in here actually. No, it doesn't, which is typical. But I'm going to, I'll pin these on for now because I'm going to just staple those on the front. So they'll look like that. Let me just see if I got some staples, hang on. Okay, so I don't have any staples, but I do have some paper clips, so I'm going to use those for now. And what I'll be doing is I will be stapling these on, like that. And then I'm going to just take off these extra pieces here. Like that. And I'm just going to do a little bit of decorating on the top of this. This is where my desk starts to look like a bomb's hit it. You can barely make out what I'm doing. And again, I'm going to use just this top piece here. And I'll keep that piece so I can use that again. Okay. And then I'm literally going to ink around. and that will give me a nice little scrap pad to add into one of the journals. So at the moment we have, just put my thingamabobby back on. So at the moment we've been working with scraps that I had left over from the signatures I was working on, and we've just put a few bits and pieces together here to sort all of these out. Some are scraps, some are not, and we've got some here. So the idea is, so this is my ideas book that I've started working with. So I've done a couple of quick scrap pads that will literally just tuck into different spaces. I've got to stitch these down or staple them, but a couple of scrap pads there. And then there are a couple of journal cards here, or, you know, like little booklets. And then we've got some more journal cards. Love these too. Lots of journaling space on the back and different styles of those. And then we also had some of these which are just pop-over journaling spaces. So I'll show you literally how I use each of these in my ideas book. So I've only just started putting this together, but here I've got a piece in here. It is just literally I haven't embellished that or done anything with that yet, but I've popped it into a pocket. Now, if I wanted to, I could put one of my pop-over journaling spots there, close my page up, and it'll stay down, pop up at the moment, just because that's what it does. And you've got lots of journaling, extra journaling space there if you wanted to use that. We've got another pocket here. So again, these work fantastically over pockets. Just pop them over your pocket and you've got some extra journaling space. I've got some journal cards, ideal just for popping in those pockets that you need to fill up. Here I've got, this is going to be a side tuck. That's too small to use, but it'll give you an idea of the types of things you can put in there. Again, another piece here. I could just pop over my pop-out journaling space. There we go, we've got a pocket here. I could decide that I'm going to put in one of my scrap pads if I wanted to, and a couple of journal cards. And that's gonna, with one of those, bulk that page right out. So it just gives you an idea of different things that you can use. But that, you know, like I said, you've got a pocket on your page, and I've just put in 2 journal spots, journal cards, a scrapbook, and a little flip out journaling spot. And they do look really, really good. I love those two. Really love those two. So yeah, even just for things like this where you just want something a little extra. Got a pocket there which might be too small, but I think I could probably get a scrap pad in there if I really wanted to. So it's just about creating extra pieces you can use to bump up what you're already using in your journals. So yeah, it was just hanging out. I had it to do. Thought you might want to join me. If you've got any questions or any comments, then by all means leave them in the section below. If not, I will catch you in the next video. So until then, stay safe and be well, as always, and we'll speak soon. Bye for now.